child has a right to play, and everybody has a right to play. Sports for all, I think it's very important. We in the Commonwealth, we are challenged with a lot of political instabilities in some areas, and if we use sport as a tool to bring peace to the world, it's quite a big value, to human dignity. To peace, it's something that is very hard to get, and if you use sport to get peace, to look for peace, it's through a lot and lots of negotiations. Look where South Africa is. It's just next to us. Late Nelson Mandela, he went to a sport that people never believed. He went to the white sport, which was rugby. And that's where we saw the Mandela dance. That's where Mandela got a lot of popularity behind him, to accept that even though people from apartheid, here we are now, but the most white sport that people will never see me playing, it's rugby. Then he went to the rugby games to unify his people.
We have to inform the ministers of the work in sport throughout the Commonwealth and how they can take some of the work that's been done in some of the other countries forward, so that we can encourage the rest of the Commonwealth to use sport as a tool for education and also for health, making everybody fit and healthy.
I think sport, physical activity especially, has a role to play in the health of the citizens. Also, because we're such a multicultural, multi-ethnic, multi-religious society, so sport plays a role in getting everybody together and such a unifying factor. You see that when Malaysia does very well in games and everybody comes together to cheer on the team. I think that's really, really wonderful.
I mean, when you consider actually the levels of investment that go into medal performance, and then you look at actually how little investment is actually needed, particularly in parts of the world where facilities or expenditure on sport is quite limited. Actually, through the power of sport, you can really reach quite a great number of individuals and young people, and the communities and parents and those that really impact on their lives most directly.
There are numerous reasons why sport is significant and important to the people of South Africa. During the days of apartheid, it is the anti-apartheid movement using sport as a platform to isolate apartheid South Africa from participating in international games until we were invited back again into the international arena in 1992. So sport has always been a unifier, and post 1992, after we came back into the international arena, the president, our late icon Nelson Mandela, used sport to mobilize the entire society for social cohesion.
I think the challenge of SDP is that within the closed circle of SDP, we've had fantastic conversations about the role of sport in development. We talked to sports ministers, we've talked to sporting bodies, we've talked to sport for development organisations, and we've had a really wide-ranging discussion. We've improved our evidence base, we've done lots of the things that we need to make a compelling argument outside of the sector. I think where we've fallen down is making that argument outside of the sector. I don't think we've talked enough to the wider development sector, to other ministries, about the role that sport can play. We've got quite a compelling argument. We know as a group what sport can do. We haven't talked to those people that aren't already with us, and I think that's where we've really fallen down.
We need to spread sport portfolios around different line ministries in the government. So first of all, of course, we need those who allocate budgets, but then we need the health ministries, the education ministries, the youth ministries, social inclusion ministries, to understand how they can integrate sport to carry out the programs and to reach the objectives they have in their line ministries. So sport has to be moved out of the box of the sport ministries alone, or of the national Olympic movements, or of other sport movements, into being mainstreamed across different ministries.